Welcome to AIN TV. I'm David Lombardo, and we'll be here all week at HAI Heli-Expo 2014. Be sure to keep coming back to AINonline.com for exclusive video coverage. Right after this message, we'll be interviewing Matt Zuccaro, president of HAI. Welcome to Anaheim, California, and the 2014 HAI Heli-Expo. We're here where the mood is this year's Heli-Expo appears to be on track with the numbers from Las Vegas last year. We're talking to Matt Zuccaro, president of HAI. Matt, what's the state of the industry right now?
Actually, it's very up. Everything's positive. We looked at the last 3 to 5 years, and the indices indicate that everybody's flying. There's a lot of business out there. Actually to the point where, which is a topic we've talked about a lot, the pilot shortage and mechanic shortage, the inability of us to potentially meet our crew needs.
And how are we going to deal with that?
Well, you know, it's a tough problem because what we have is a younger generation that has so many options available to them now, and we're in a sales and marketing effort to try to show them the benefits and really the joy of taking a career in the helicopter industry. And the pilot starts, unfortunately, are down. There's less people, young people, entering the pipeline for that. And the other thing that concerns us is the economic requirement to do it.
What sort of other challenges are we facing now?
Well, the challenge is, we think, unwarranted legislative actions and requirements and regulatory initiatives. And you know, it's to the point now where the regulations that relate to restricting and controlling helicopter routes and altitudes has become the forum of our elected officials, where they get receipt of maybe some noise complaints from an area and turn to the FAA. And it's not like they're even asking the FAA anymore, they're telling them, we want you to put in regulations that will restrict helicopters in terms of routes and altitudes based on some simple noise complaints that are coming from the community. We respect the fact that we fly over communities and we have to be socially responsible. And we have a very good Fly Neighborly program, community outreach program, and we work with the community and the FAA and the stakeholders to improve this. But for political expediency, the elected officials that decide to turn this into regulatory initiatives without any study of the level of the problem or what the real effect of any restricted route or airspace realignment would mean. Sometimes there's unintended consequences and it actually reduces safety, rather than let the stakeholders sit around the table and work it out.
And that's the actual question. Is it going to have a positive effect on safety?
Well, no, and none of this is being done for safety or airspace efficiency. It's being done to appease, you know, a small group of people who have gotten the attention of elected officials and basically are demanding that they put in restriction routes and airspace just for helicopters, nobody else. Yes.
There's a lot now going on offshore. What role does HAI play in that?
Well, one major role we played is the advancement of technologies in the segment of offshore. Just a few years ago, we were the facilitator that brought together the operators in the Gulf of Mexico, the oil companies, and the FAA. And we facilitated an agreement contract that established ADS-B, next-gen system in the Gulf of Mexico with enhanced weather and enhanced communications. Heretofore, but before that system was in place, Houston Center and the other ATC people could not talk to, nor could they see the helicopters out over the water. Now that's completely changed. The National Airspace System has been extended out over the water, 250 miles, and routine IFR operations are being conducted just like you were in New York or Los Angeles. And the interesting part of a side note is it was turned on January 2010. That year in the Gulf of Mexico, there weren't any accidents.
And what about HTAWs and radio altimeters? Is that
Well, they're good safety features, and they absolutely have benefits in certain mission profiles and environments. But I think the thing that concerns us is agencies and the NTSB, I know, made a recommendation, and the FAA put it in the new HEMS rule. They view this as that if you put HEMS in and you put radar altimeters, the accidents are going to go away, and that's not going to happen. And the example I use, Wire cutters are a very good safety enhancement if in fact you're in an obstacle environment doing that kind of mission. But do you really need a wire cutter out over the open water going to a platform? You know, so
Exactly.
it's trying to use logic and common sense. So the thing that amazed us, we have been requesting the FAA for years to make sure they include in the new HEMS rule night vision goggles as a requirement. We're actually begging them to put it in. They did not. Now, what better safety enhancement that's proven can you have in HEMS than night vision goggles? And they didn't put it in. So that is something that puzzled us. The good news, the industry on its own voluntarily has equipped to almost a 90% level of night vision goggles because the industry realizes this is the right thing to do. So,
Matt, thank you very much, as always. Matt Zuccaro, president of HAI. Stay with us all week where we'll be covering all the news here at Heli-Expo 2014. For AIN TV, I'm David Lombardo.